Hi there, I'm Sarah Daniels. I'm the Senior Marketing Manager for Education Programs at VMware. And today we're talking with Igor at VCDX. Igor, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes, hi. My name is Igor Zecevic. I am VCDX number 286. I'm working at Nutanix as a consulting architect. And my job is basically to help customers through different types of engagements, such as design, implementations, coding, etc.
Great, thanks for joining us today. We'll just talk a little bit about your VCDX and your background with that, and then we'll talk a little bit about different products and the future and all of that sort of stuff. So can you tell me a little bit about preparing for your VCDX? What was your biggest challenge in getting ready, and how did you prepare?
Right, so that's a really tough questions because obviously I had a lot of challenges like anyone else pursuing the VCDX, but the main one was the soft skills that the VCDX program and certification requires. So any candidate should have these, obviously technical skills, but the soft skills are really important. And for me, that was the biggest challenge. So having the ability to talk to customers, to a panel, asking clear questions, writing on the whiteboard at the same time, the language as well, because I'm not a native English speaker. So all of these soft skills were kind of sort of difficult because I didn't have them at that time, and my job wasn't. I didn't have the ability to learn them or to practice those skills, and the soft skills are not something you can learn within 1 week or by reading books. You need experience. You need to get practice. So that learning curve was tough. That was a challenge, and that's basically also why I wanted to go for the VCDX. So I wanted to gain those skills, and I wanted to. That was a personal challenge, right? So I wanted to be look, I can do this, right? So that was the main reason I went for that certification.
That's really interesting. So when you were preparing, how did you practice? Did you involve other VCDX? Did you kind of get some guidance from them and some mentorship, or did you do it with friends and family? Like, how did you get that practice in?
Right. So how did I start with it? That's also a good question. I started this with a friend and a colleague at the time. So I worked for a end customer, and I was just graduating at that time. So I just graduated. I finished college, and I passed my VCP, my VCAPs, and I was a system admin at that time. So I was performing operations on vSphere, VMware environments, and but I didn't have those soft skills like I said, and a friend who's also VCDX now, so VCDX number 283, which is a Froid de la Cade. He basically pushed me into that process. He wanted to do this VCDX, and he said, that could be beneficial for you, right? So that's basically how I started. So he was my mentor at the time. We did a joint submission, so we did our VCDX together, and we had a lot of help from the community, right? So on Twitter, on Slack, there is a VCDX prep channel on which we met a lot of people. A lot of people help us. We prep together with other guys that were pursuing the VCDX. And this is how we basically train. This is how we practice together. And yeah, so that's how it works.
That makes sense. So how did you um, move on from that? Like, how would you say things have changed since you got your VCDX? Have things changed for you at work? What's different now?
To be honest, since I passed the VCDX, I passed the VCDX in December 2019, so 1 year ago. Nothing didn't dramatically change from since I passed, but I would say that the skills that I earned from the process itself made me a better architect today, and I gained a lot of confidence, and that's what changed in a way from the day I started the process to the day I earned the VCDX. So all the skills that I gained from the process, the methodology that the VCDX teaches you, so the whole methodology of asking questions, asking for clarification, explaining a concept to a client, all of this methodology, even if I'm not exposed that much with the VMware ecosystem today, those skills are really beneficial, and I'm using those skills on a daily basis, right? So that was the main benefit from that certification.
That makes sense. So you seem like you have a love of learning. So what comes next? Are you VCDX is the highest certification you can get within VMware. So are you planning at some point a second VCDX? What's your plan now?
Right. So I'm not that, we don't know what the future reserves, right? But I probably won't go for a second because that requires a lot of time and energy. Even if I think today that will take me less time than the first one. But I don't know, we don't know, but I'm pretty sure I won't go for a second. But there are other certification that I'm interested by, such as the Kubernetes space. So there is the CKA, CKAD that I'm interested in. So let's see.
Sounds good. So if you had some advice to give to other people who are getting certified, whether that's VCP or VCAP or VCDX, what advice would you give someone?
Right. So in general, regarding certification, I would say it's a good methodology to learn new skills, and it's a sort of a motivation to gain those skills. Right. The process, it's beneficial, it's helpful. Regarding the VCDX, I would say the first question I would ask to myself and to anyone that's willing to take that journey and that road is, do you really want why do you want a VCDX? That would be the main question. And after that, I would say, don't overthink, just go for it, start with something, because when you start the process, when you read the blueprint doesn't make a lot of sense when you read it for the first time, but everything is there, right? So I would say, don't overthink, start with the VCDX. Try to get within the community, ask for help, and yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely. What else is in the world for you? What is the most interesting innovation you've come across recently? What are you working on that really fires you up? What do you see out there in the world that has got your focus?
All right. So currently we are living in a awkward kind of situation with the COVID and all the pandemic and all the stuff that's going on. But from a technical perspective, I do like automation a lot. You know, the whole logic behind automation and helping customers and businesses to reduce operational cost. And from a technical perspective, you know, automation, I like the idea of automating and integrating ecosystems together it makes me think, and I like it a lot. I also like Kubernetes, you know, the whole space within Kubernetes, and I think we are going forward with those technologies and the whole concept around containers and Kubernetes space. And something else that I'm really interested by and I'm working on is the hybrid cloud mobility. So having the possibility for a business and a client to have their workloads on-prem on their data center and having the flexibility to migrate or push them to a public cloud with transparency. So yeah, that's those three, I would say, keys areas I'm working on and I like.
That's awesome. So would you say you think that's the future? Where's the future headed?
Right. So um, I think yeah that could be the future. I mean, that's uncertain, but definitely automation is a big player for the future. Even if that's been growing for quite a long time now, but a lot of companies and businesses are not ready from a maturity perspective, from a process perspective. The technical logics and technical skills and tools are there, but the processes behind how we should use them, how business should use them, use those tools. They are not ready yet for I mean, all businesses are not ready to use them, but I think yeah, automation and all DevOps areas and ecosystem is the future, right?
That's great. I love that perspective. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. Congratulations on getting your VCDX. I'm sure it's an inspiration to others. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.